Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about the 2-minute V ambush. That's V as in Victor, okay? And the scenario here is that the Soviets and the Cubans have invaded the United States. They're occupying half of it. And there's a bunch of teenagers that have been caught behind enemy lines, and they form a militia to fight the communists, okay? And of course I'm talking about the movie Red Dawn from the 80s. So what I'm talking about in this video is what unit tactics would be effective for a relatively untrained militia unit to employ. Okay, now individually these militia fighters may be very skilled, right? They may be very good shots with a rifle, but they have not had a chance to practice together as a unit, and they most likely are not going to get a chance because doing live fire unit exercises, are very loud, they're very visible, so that you're not going to be able to do that in a situation where you're being occupied by Soviets, okay? So the tactics that we have to employ are going to have to be very simple, something that they can, that they can kind of practice without using live fire, and they have to be such that it minimizes the chance that we're going to have friendly fire. There's probably a very high chance that our militia fighters are going to accidentally shoot each other if we start trying to do any really advanced tactics. Okay, so for that reason, I'm sticking to really basic, simple stuff that's easy to learn, and it minimizes the chance that they will accidentally shoot each other. That kind of has to be baked into the cake. Okay, they're not going to get a chance to really practice this stuff. So we have to really focus on the simplicity. So today we're talking about the V ambush, okay, Red Dawn V ambush, and I'm limiting it to 2 minutes or one 30-round magazine. Okay, you finish that 30-round magazine, you reload the gun, and then you get out of there. You don't try to stay engaged, because what's going to happen is, after 2 minutes, the Soviets are, first of all, they're going to find positions of cover. They're going to start returning fire. Okay, and they're also going to call in for air support. Okay, they're going to, within about 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to start hearing that Hind gunship, in the air. So we need enough time to make the attack and get out of there. Okay, so we're using a V ambush because we have a straight road over here. The L ambush, which is obviously shaped in an L pattern, we were executing last time on a curve in the road. And the situation might be such that there's no usable curve in the road. Now, why would there be no usable curve in the road? Of course, there will be some curves at some point. But the most important part of this plan is being able to get out and retreat through wooded areas. Okay, all the curves in the road, might have other roads, further back, so that once they commence the attack and they start pulling back, they might be crossing roads. And we don't want to be falling back, crossing roads, which leaves us vulnerable. Okay, not only is vulnerable in the sense that we can be seen from the sky, but the Soviets can use those roads to basically bring other units into that area. So we want to be retreating through terrain that is wooded only, that provides us cover from the sky, so we can't be seen, and also that there's no roads there that the Soviets would be able to bring other vehicles through and basically cut us off, because we're on foot. Okay, that's we're not driving. At this point of the invasion, where the Soviets are occupying half the United States, they own those roads. Okay, so we want to stay away from property that they own. Okay, so we have a straight road here. We have 3 vehicles, and the direction of travel is that way. Okay, so we're going that way. And I've situated my it's a 7-man team in a V. Okay, the benefit of this V, which is similar to the L, is that it gives us crossfire. Okay, this guy here can fire at this vehicle. He can also fire at that vehicle. Same thing, this guy can fire at that vehicle. So every man in this team can fire at every vehicle. Now, of course, there's probably going to be trees and stuff. We hope there's trees, because that's going to give us cover. So they may not be able to fire at every possible position, but each man has to position himself so that they can fire at least 2 angles. One angle this way and one angle that way. Same thing, like this guy wants to be able to fire at least one angle this way, one angle that way. So you want to have at least 2 angles of fire that are relatively far apart. Okay, so We're going to position the commander here. Okay, in the L ambush, we positioned the commander in the back so that he could see the last vehicle coming in and make a decision if he wanted to, commence with the attack. In this scenario, I'm positioning the commander here because he needs to be able to control this guy. This guy is the roadblock guy. Okay, we have a straight road here that we need to block in order to get these vehicles to stop. Okay. And the only way to do that is really to drive a truck or another car out and block the road. If we pre-position something over here, right, let's say we put like some concrete or something, these guys are going to see it from way back here. So we don't know exactly where they're going to stop. There's a chance that they may stop back here somewhere. So we need to control exactly, where and when they're going to stop. So we're going to drive something. This guy's going to drive something out, leave it there, and then retreat back to his position. Okay, in the L ambush where I had a curve on the road, the lead vehicle was not able to see that roadblock until he actually came around the curve. Okay, so in that case we could pre-position it. Here we're not going to be able to pre-position it. As soon as these guys are coming down the road, the commander is going to give this guy a command: get out there, drop the vehicle, get back here, and then. The commander is going to decide if they're going to even continue the attack, because he might see something he doesn't like, in which case he's going to get out of there real quick. He'll fire the first shot. Once the commander fires the first shot, everybody opens up. Empty out that 30-round magazine. Obviously, we're shooting towards windshields. People, the Soviets would be behind those windshields. We're also shooting at tires and radiators. Basically anything to keep these guys from to make their lives as uncomfortable as possible. Nothing more than 2 minutes, because within 2 minutes the Soviets are going to find positions of cover and they're going to start returning fire. They're also going to radio in for air support. So within 10 minutes or less, there's going to be a Hind gunship that's going to come into the area and it's going to start raking the woods over here with gunfire. So we have to limit this attack to 2 minutes. Give us enough time to get back to this fallback position, okay? And then from there, we're going to get at it, okay? Now, the purpose of the fallback position is not to continue the fight. We're just going to come back over here, basically just, make sure that we're not being pursued. So what's going to happen is that we got the marksman over here, which I have S for sniper, okay? And then these two guys here are somewhere between 25 and 50 yards back, okay? Most likely they'll probably be about 50 yards back, because you figure that you got about 25 yards of between the vehicles and the shoulder of the road, so you want to be at least 50 yards behind that. And then our sniper is going to be somewhere between 75 to 100 yards back. He's got a magnification scope, so he's able to take more precise shots. Our sniper is also going to provide the cover so we can get the team out. Okay, he's furthest back, which means that he's going to be the last man out. Once everybody fires that 30-round magazine, basically they're going to fall back into this position here, except for the sniper and one other person, probably one of these two guys here. The sniper is going to come back here. The reason why the sniper is coming to this position is because he's the last man out, so we want to get him to the closest position possible. Also, we're going to get him out of the way. Okay, we want him getting out of the way, because these other guys, as soon as they fire their the 30-round magazine, they're going to fall back over here. Okay, it's not likely, but if the Soviets start pursuing into the woods, this line is going to open up. Okay, and this line is going to open up as soon as they cross the woods over here. And the idea here is to get them to go back. Okay, we want them to know that that if they enter into the woods, they're going to be shot at. They're not going to know how many people we have back here or what's waiting back here. So they're most likely, if we open fire at them, they're probably not going to continue to pursue. If they, for some reason, they do continue to pursue, what's going to happen is these two guys here are going to be the sniper, and one of the men is going to be in this position. These two guys are silent. Okay, they're not going to open up. They're not going to open fire unless they are pursued past this point. Okay. So they're going to stay silent if the Soviets are so hard up that they need to get, they really want to come after this line over here. Once they get to this line over here, okay, then these guys will open up with the crossfire. But because if these guys open up too early, then the Soviets are going to stop someplace over here, and we're not going to get that crossfire. Okay, so as far as if they do pursue us, we wait until they get here before these two guys open up. Most likely they're not. So as soon as the sniper gets back here, okay, these guys are pretty much going to get out, and the sniper's going to follow, and they're going to go to another fallback position. This fallback position is somewhere between 200 and 300 yards back, depending on how thick the woods are, how much, because basically they need to be able to see the edge of the road. So if it's in the summertime where you have lots of, bushes growing, they may only be, let's say 200 yards back. If it's, later, if it's closer to the wintertime, they may have to go 300 yards back and form that line. And like I said earlier, this line over here is somewhere between 25 to 50 yards back. Okay, because they need to be at least, they need to be far enough back into the woods that they have good cover. Okay, question may be, why not just form a straight line here? Okay, why not just form a straight line? Why bother with this angle? Well, for one thing, having this guy back here, he's giving us cover. If I have everybody on the straight line over here, okay, fine, everybody gets out. Now I got this one man here that was providing us cover. He's like right in front of the enemy over here. So I want this guy further back over here so he has a chance to also get out. Okay. The other thing is, if I have a straight line, let's say these guys present a machine gun, right? If I have everybody on a straight line, they might see, they might get a sense that this line here is at 50 yards. So they may start raking over here with a machine gun at 50 yards. I want these guys, some of the people, a little further back, so that they're not raking everybody straight down the line, back and forth over here. We have them at different distances. So that's another reason why I prefer not to use a straight line here. I want to use this V ambush, so I have people staggered at different distances from the road. So I mean, let's say they start using mortars or something, or start lobbing grenades. If I have my people situated like this, they might be throwing the grenades into this area over here, and there's less of a chance that they will hit our people. Okay, so that is the 2-minute Red Dawn V ambush. Okay, we're forming a V over here. It gives us the benefit of crossfire. Okay, and then we're gonna fall back into an L ambush over here. Sniper's gonna go from there to there. Okay, and we're not looking to get into a fight with these guys. Basically, this is just a fallback position to make sure that we got everybody out, and then from there we're gonna get out of there and go back to another fallback position. Because this is about 300 yards back. The next fallback position might be 1,000 yards back. Then we might have another one after that, 5,000 yards back, and that's how we're going to get ourselves out of there. It's more important that none of our men get injured, okay? Because our militia fighters are not easily replaceable, and also if they get wounded, even if they don't die immediately, they're going to die from infection, because we're not going to have access to much medicine. We're not going to have access to antibiotics and stuff like that. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll talk to you guys next time.